Hi, everybody. How are you? It is Monday night. It is time for Cruise Chat Live. How's everybody doing out there? It's actually cold here in Orlando. It looks like it's about 80 degrees right now, so it's getting a little chilly. Gonna have to get the sweaters out very shortly. But good evening to everybody wherever you are. And oh my gosh, we already have a super sticker right off the bat. Thank you, Desiree. Very kind of you to give us a super sticker. Really, really appreciate that. And I saw you had a question about doing live streams. I'll answer that for you in just a few minutes. Get through the open of the show first. For those of you who are new to the channel, Where's Walter Travel is all about cruising, theme parks, and everything in between. And what we really try to do is we try to give useful information for that first-time cruiser or the newbie cruiser, because there's just so much misinformation out there. And we just want to let you make an informed decision as to whether or not you want to take a cruise. Because look, cruises are not for everybody, but we really enjoy them. We've been doing them since 2006, and we love sharing information to help you make an informed decision on taking a cruise. So welcome to Cruise Chat Live, everybody. Good evening. Hey, Danielle, how are you? Good to see you. Danielle is one of our fellow travel advisors, so our independent travel advisors. Welcome to the show. For those of you who are not in our private Facebook group, consider coming over to join our private Facebook group. We've got, I think, almost 250 people in there now. So it's not a huge group, nice small group. Everybody's helping each other out, sharing information. And what I love about the Facebook group is that it's a two-way street. It's not just me talking to you guys and showing you my adventures. You guys get to show your adventures. And in fact, this is the coolest thing. One of our group members, Tammy, is on the Harmony of the Seas, and she's wearing one of our shirts. Oh, my goodness gracious. That is the first Where's Walter shirt in the wild, and it's worn by Tammy on the Harmony of the Seas right now. She beat me to it. I didn't even get to wear one of my shirts on a ship yet. So yay, Tammy. Thank you so much for sending that in. I can't wait to see the rest of your pictures on the cruise. It's just so exciting. And if you have not heard yet, we are now a full-service travel agency, whatever you want to call it. We're independent travel advisors, and we can now book your cruise tour. We're also focusing on the theme parks. If we do live here in Orlando, we've been going to Disney World and Universal for about 25 years now. So we've been going there a little bit. We know a little bit about them, and also trying to help you with your cruise destination weddings, or if you've got some big groups and whatnot. And it's really cool because we're not by ourselves. We're part of a group of independent agents. There's about 50 people in the group that we're working with, including Danielle, and they've been extremely helpful. We've only been doing this. We've only been with the company for about 2 weeks, so we're still learning our ropes around with the company, but they've been super helpful, and we're really excited. This all started because of TikTok. So many people on TikTok said, Walt, I wish you were a travel agent so you could actually book our cruises. And that's how it all got started. So very, very cool. If you haven't been to our merch store yet, oh my God, so many fun shirts like the one Tammy is wearing on the Harmony right now. But there's about 40 shirts in there, all kinds of fun little cruise designs and things. My favorite one is still Just imagine a world without cruising. Now slap your face and never think about that again. I love that. Whoever came up with that, that was absolutely brilliant. And of course, we have to say happy Thanksgiving to our friends in Canada. Today is Thanksgiving up in Canada. So happy Thanksgiving, everybody in Canada. Do you guys eat turkey? I have no idea. I don't have a clue what happens on Thanksgiving in Canada. So anybody up in Canada, or if you know, I'm very curious. What is like the big traditions up in Canada for Thanksgiving? Because, you know, we have our turkey. And for Rebecca and I, a tradition is to go cruising. We really like to go cruising on Thanksgiving because it takes all the pressure off. We don't have to make a turkey. We don't have to, you know, take care of anything. And the big games are up on a huge screen out by the pool. So I can just sit out there and watch football. Rebecca doesn't care. She's hanging out in the solarium, enjoying herself while I'm out there with a bunch of guys watching the football game. So it's really, really awesome. And cruise is a great way to spend Thanksgiving. Just saying. So yay. So welcome, everybody. It's so good to see you all. Now, I did have a question right off the bat from Desiree. Desiree wants to know, well, thank you for enjoying the shows. I'm glad. And you want to know how you get equipment so you can have a live cruise show as well. Well, if you have one of these, you have all the equipment you need to do a live show. Seriously, you can stream YouTube live from a phone. I will be doing that once I get onto the cruise ship. Right now, I'm actually using a Surface tablet, believe it or not. One of those little Microsoft Surface tablets is an iPad. And I've got my, hey, Brian, how are you? Good to see you. B-Duff Travels. Good to see you, my friend. Congratulations on the new gig, too. Yeah, so you can use YouTube Studio to launch a live stream directly from the phone. And if you put it horizontally, you'll see the chat going on over here so that you'll be able to respond and see what everybody is saying. Here, what I'm doing, I have a Microsoft Surface, which is, you know, a tablet with a keyboard. And then I'm talking to you from a Panasonic camera that I've had, oh boy, I've had this camera probably 12 years now. So it just happened to be a camera that I have around here. And it's connected by cable to this computer. It's HDMI into a USB. It's connected into the computer. And then this is StreamYard software. And that's how we do it. It's actually rather simple. It's very cost effective. And, oh, the microphone? For those of you who are just tuning in, my wife, Rebecca, sits off to the side. She's kind of like my producer, doesn't like to be on camera, but she has a wealth of knowledge over there. Then the other thing I'm doing is I'm wearing a wireless microphone. This is from a company called Rode, R-O-D-E. And it's, I want to say it's like about a $300 kit, the one that we're using. It actually allows two microphones to plug into a phone or a camera at the same time, which is really awesome. And we can go about 600 feet away from the microphone. That's really awesome when I'm on the ships. If you go see my Cheeky Corner Suite tour, you'll see me do a tour of the balcony. Now, the balcony is 500 square feet. It's probably well over 60 feet long. So I'm standing on one end of the balcony and my camera's on the other end, but you can hear me plain as day. So that's it. So yeah, you can do it just with a phone. It's easy enough to do it with just a phone. So yes, and happy Thanksgiving, Canada. How are you? Happy Thanksgiving, Canada. Please, somebody tell me what is a tradition in Canada. I literally do not know what you all do in Canada. Oh my goodness gracious. But welcome to the Cruise Chat, everybody. I'm going to dive into some news while I wait for y'all. If you got questions, you got concerns, you got comments about cruising, please jump in and say. One of the coolest things that is happening right now, the Carnival Ecstasy is on her final cruise. She's been around for 30 years. That's a long time for a cruise ship. I think they expect the average expectancy today around 20 years at this point. But 30 years carrying over 5.5 million guests. So she's on her final cruise right now. In fact, John Heel, the brand ambassador, is on the ship. I believe from some of his posts, I think he actually used to work on the ship. It's absolutely amazing. But she sailed out of Mobile, Alabama. And after this cruise, she's going to head across the pond and she will be cut up for scrap. I believe that scrapyard in Turkey where they cut up all the cruise ships. So it's kind of a sad ending, but 30 years. I mean, that ship has lived quite the lifetime. And what's really cool is it's sold out. This cruise was sold out. That many people wanted to be on board for the last cruise. I think that's pretty awesome. I mean, it is, you know, you look at it, you go, wow, that's an old ship. That's a small ship. But that's how much the people love the fantasy class. Apparently, there are Carnival fans who just love that fantasy class. I've never been on one, but man, they love it. They actually sold out the final cruise of the Carnival Ecstasy. So that's pretty darn awesome. I think that's very, very cool. Another really big piece of good news that happened today. Grand Turk is open. They got the pier fixed. Apparently, the rest of the island still has some damage. So they're still going to have to do some work on the rest of the island. So not everything may be available when you go, but apparently there will be 3 ships calling in, 3 Carnival ships calling in this week. And according to the news, yeah, so they're set to welcome the first ships back, but certain things on the island may or may not be ready. So if you're heading to Grand Turk, you may not be able to do everything that you wanted to do, but they definitely got the pier open. So I would have to assume that at least the beaches are cleaned up right there on either side. That is one of the most iconic places to go on a cruise, because it literally looks like the ship, like you could swim up to the ship right there. So that would be absolutely amazing to go back there. We were just there, what, in March? Yeah, we were on the Carnival Mardi Gras. It's amazing if you ever see the aerial view of Grand Turk. It's absolutely amazing with the view, because you're looking down at the pier and you see these 2 thin dark stripes on either side. And that's it. That's the channel for the ships to come in. They look like they literally have like 10 feet of room on either side of the ship. I know they have more, but it's ridiculous when you see that high overview shot. You're like, wait, that's all the ships have to get in. And then it makes me understand what happened with the Norwegian Escape when she ran aground coming out of Puerto Plata. The channels are so shallow that it can be quite dangerous for the ships to come out. Yes, Danielle, I think it's one of the coolest ports out there. Certainly the most iconic for a selfie, right? I mean, you take that picture and it looks like the ship is literally right next to you, and it literally looks like you can swim out to the ship. Our brother-in-law, sister-in-law were on their very, very first cruise with us in March, when Grand Turk was one of the calls, and I was standing out there with my brother-in-law. He's like, this is just incredible. He said, I'm trying to take pictures to show how big the ship is, but it just doesn't work in pictures, and it really doesn't. And he said, it's unbelievable how close the ship is to me right now, and I'm standing on a beach. And I just think it's one of the coolest stops out there. There's not the most to do on Grand Turk, but it's certainly one of the coolest places in the Caribbean, especially if you want to get a nice picture with the ship. It's funny. People are like, wow, this ship is big. First time they get on a ship and you're at Port Canaveral and you're going through the whole, airport terminal thing to get onto the ship. And the ship looks big, but you really don't appreciate how big the ship is. And I told him this. I said, when we get to a port and you actually get off of it and then you look up, he was like, oh my God, this thing is huge. And it's like, yeah, it doesn't, because of that whole airport terminal thing and you come in on deck 7, it doesn't feel as big. But boy, when you get to a port and you step out of it, you're like, oh my word. Hey, Andy, how are you? Welcome to the show. Good to see you. Thanks so much for popping in tonight. We're doing a little bit of cruise news. We're also going to talk about Princess Cruises. Rebecca has been doing some research on Princess Cruises. She's been doing some training on Princess Cruises. As you know, the iconic Love Boat, they were the first 3 ships we went on. Let's see, it was the Caribbean Princess, the Sapphire Princess, and the Island. Yeah, so those were the very first 3 cruise ships that we ever went on, and it was because of the Love Boat. So we had to go on because of the Love Boat. And some of the cool things that Rebecca has been finding out about the ship. Well, one thing that we already knew, if you get a club level cabin, it's like a club level mini suite. We experienced this. Number one, the dining captain makes something in the dining room for you. They have a special area. You still eat in the main dining room, but it's kind of like the roped off area off to the side, and you get special napkins. Like our napkins were different than everybody else's. It was all la-di-da. It was very nice. But the dining captain actually makes something fresh. Like he was literally right behind me on the next table. And after the first night, I was like, whatever you're making, that's what I want. But if you get a club class mini suite, so you get that dining area, you get priority embarkation, debarkation, you get a half bottle of red and white wine in your cabin. Not bad. And you get priority special restaurant reservations. You get upgraded robes, and you get evening canapes. So it's kind of fun. Club level, club class mini suite on Princess. It's actually kind of a cool thing. I don't know many other people that have like that kind of like offerings. Hey, Kenneth, good to see you. Welcome to the show. Thank you so much for coming in. Really appreciate you popping in. We're talking about Princess, we're talking cruise news, and of course, I'm taking whatever questions you all might have. So really good to see you all. And if you missed the news earlier this week, Where's Walter Travel is now open. You can go to whereswaltertravel.com to learn more about that. There's a contact page and all of that good stuff. So another cool thing about Princess that you may or may not know, they are one of the, I guess they call themselves a destination leader. They go to 100 countries, actually more than 100 countries on Princess. Princess, Holland America have some of the most interesting itineraries, I think, out there in the market today. And when you really look at them, if you're tired of just doing the same old Western, Eastern, Caribbean, the same Mediterranean cruise over and over, if you're really looking for something different, Princess and Holland America especially are doing some really interesting itineraries. And Holland America, I've talked about, they're doing those long haul itineraries where you can like go around Africa, leaving from Florida, 128 days, come back to Florida. This is really cool. But they now have 15 ships, and then the Sun Princess is coming out in 2024. Sun Princess looks interesting. They now have a profile of her on the website, and it definitely looks like it's built on the Excel model, you know, like the Carnival Mardi Gras, the P&O Iona, and Aida as well, except the aft of the ship, the balconies angle out rather than in, and in the middle, it looks like the glass is going to be on either side of the ship because they show the sun cutting right through the entire center of the ship. That's going to be amazing if that's truly the way it's going to work. I am going to want to book on that Sun Princess. But Princess has 170 itineraries, actually more than 170, including Greenland. Greenland! You want me to send you back to Greenland? Comment if you know what that is. Antarctica, Africa, Tahiti, the French Polynesia, the California coast, and then world cruises. Princess has got a lot going on right now.
Aside from your standard Caribbean, European,
yeah,
Alaska.
170 plus itineraries. So like if you really want to do something different, start looking at Princess. Lori, you just booked on the Sky Princess. Absolutely wonderful.
They have the gelato.
Oh, they have the gelato. So I don't know if you know that story. I am nuts about gelato. I'm nuts about ice cream, and I'm nuts about coffee. Although this is tea, I'm drinking throat coat tea because it helped me with talking. But there are, I believe, 3 Princess ships that have been certified:
Discovery, Enchanted, and Sky.
Discover, Enchanted, and Sky. So again, if you're new to the channel, my wife is sitting right off camera. She's kind of like my little producer over there and has all kinds of great information. But you have authentic gelato as verified by the Italian Chamber of Commerce. So there's only 3 ships out there that have it, and you're going to be on one of them. And one of our wonderful folks in the Facebook group was sharing pictures for the entire week, making me incredibly jealous. But oh wow, that is so cool. We saw the Sky Princess in St. Thomas back in Thanksgiving. We were doing a catamaran. Sunset catamaran sail, and as we were going out, the Sky Princess was sitting right there as we were. Lovely looking ships. You're going to have an amazing time. I'm not jealous at all. Not jealous at all. So, you know. Okay, here we go. Aaron, how are you, Aaron? Good to see you. Thanks for joining into the show. You're going to be in Alaska for the first time. Yes. That's one of the best cruises ever. I mean, ever. I took 3,300 photographs. 33. Now we were there for 14 days, so we did 7 days on land, 7 days on sea. But still, I took 3,300 photographs. Crazy. So, is it possible to do the train excursion and the dog sled on the same day in Skagway?
We had that scheduled. Didn't end up doing the dog sled.
Yes. So the dog sled. If you're talking about the helicopter flight, you go to a dog sled camp, and then you get to ride the dog sled, and then you fly back. So yes, it is possible to do both in the same day because we had it scheduled that way. However, and we knew this going in, the dog sled, if it is the helicopter to the dog sled, that is the excursion that is canceled the most because they have low-hanging clouds a lot. And if the clouds are at a certain level, the helicopter will not go. And in that case, they gave us the option to either give us the money back or fly us to a glacier. We opted to go to the glacier. So we did. We did the train, and we did a helicopter flight to the glacier on the same day. So yes, you can do them. Obviously, you need to look at how long each is. You want to allow yourself at least an hour in between the two. It's a small town. I mean, it's not going to take you very long to walk from one to the other. Now the train is going to be right at the pier. Hopefully they got the pier, worked out by next year. I mean, I really don't know what they're going to do. Mother Nature wins over everything. Obviously, she's always going to win. But hopefully they can figure out something with the pier, because that is the pier with the train. Literally, it's actually the Yukon and White Pass pier. They actually own that pier, apparently. So yes, it is possible to do both. You want to make sure you leave at least an hour in between. And what I would do, I would have to do some research. I don't know what's the better time to take the helicopter. First thing in the morning or later in the afternoon. I don't know how the weather patterns are.
Around we did it.
I don't. I want to say we did the helicopter first,
maybe,
and then we went on the train. I'm trying to remember how we did it, but yeah.
Well,
it's a cool excursion.
It's basically because the dog sled camp is in one location. So if
Yeah.
that's clouded in, there's nothing they can do.
Right.
There's like a bunch of different glaciers they can go to.
Yeah. So there's a ton of different glaciers they can go. And I would recommend, if the dog sled thing does get canceled, go to the glacier. It's pretty cool. We were in a flight of about 4 helicopters. And to me, it looked like the opening of MASH when we took off. I was like, oh my God, this is like so cool. It was like MASH as we're going. And we only have standard def video because it was that long ago that we went. So I need more video. I need to get back up there so I can shoot more video. But yeah, you can definitely do both. And you're going to be on the Ovation of the Seas.
I think that is the only time in our cruising career we did 2 excursions in one day.
Yeah, that can be exhausting. I know there are different I think there is a dog sled you can do without a helicopter. But I don't know.
Say that's on land, the land portion, but I'm not sure.
So from what, yeah, I'll have to do some research on that. I'll be glad to do some research on that and find out. But there is, if you're doing the land tour part of it, which like with Princess or Holland, there is one that actually you can do while you're on land.
But basically from Skagway, it's the helicopter.
Yeah,
that's your only option.
I think that is your only option. We'll have
from Skagway.
Yeah,
anyway.
We'll do some. Let's just make a note of that. We'll do some research and just find out. I could always do a TikTok on that. So Skagway dog sled, no helo. I know there's no way to get to that particular one that we're talking about. There's no way to get to that one without the helicopter because it's so far down the line. There's no other way because it's over the river, over the mountains, and through the woods. There's no way you're going to get to it. Yeah. Hey, Desiree, you want to become a patron? What's your email on Facebook? Well, you can go to our Facebook group. But to become a patron, you actually go to the Patreon page. Actually, if you go to any video right here on YouTube, any one of my videos, it's right there in the description. The link to become a patron is right in the description of the video. That would be the absolute easiest way for you to do it, Desiree. Absolutely. But thank you. I appreciate that. If anybody else would like to become a patron, we would certainly welcome it. You can actually do super chats right now. Super chats are active, super stickers, whatever the heck all that stuff is called from YouTube. And certainly hit that like button if you're enjoying the show. If you enjoy what we're doing, certainly hit the like button. YouTube does like that. They like to see that people actually like what we're doing. I like what we're doing. Andrew, 5 more nights. Wow. What ship? What ship are we going on? Where are we going? I'm not nosy, but where are we going? What ship are we going to be on? Where are you staying? What's your restaurant? I don't know. I want to know. I would love to know.
He said, but I can't remember.
Yeah, I know. Andrew did say in one of our other discussions, but I can't remember now. I just got so much going on with so much stuff. And now Rebecca's been doing all this awesome training with Princess. Oh, Andy Aaron, it's a shame you're not going with Princess because one of the things Princess has, oh my God, this is so awesome. Where is it? They have puppies in the piazza in Alaska. They bring little dog sled puppies onto the ship and people get to play with them in the piazza. Oh my God, that's on Princess Cruises. And then in the Caribbean, apparently now they do parrots in the piazza. Wouldn't that be hysterical if one just decided to go fly off all around and can't get it? But how about that? Yeah, puppies in the piazza. Oasis of the Sea. Andrew, that is so incredibly awesome. Our next ship will be Symphony. So we will be on one of her sisters. 67 days until Rebecca and I go. Although I am trying to get on an MSC ship this month. I've never been on MSC. We've been on 8 cruise lines. That's one I haven't been on, and trying to see if I can't just sneak onto one of them in Port Canaveral. I'm just going to put myself in some luggage and see if they'll just take me through. But yeah, I'm actually trying to get on one of those. Andrew, that is so awesome. I'm so excited for you. I really want you to have an amazing time. I think you're in our Facebook group. I hope you are, because I really want you to, show us some pictures of what's going on. Oh, and speaking of pictures again, I know some of you have joined in late. This was so exciting today. One of the people in our Facebook group named Cammie beat me to it. She has already posted a picture of herself with my shirt. That is so awesome. She's on Harmony of the Seas. So if you see Cammie on Harmony of the Seas wearing that shirt, say hello. It's so awesome. She got to wear the shirt before I did. I love it. I love it. It's so incredibly exciting. I'm glad y'all are having fun with this. We are having so much fun with all of this. Good, Andrew. So you better be posting in Facebook. I want to see the cruise. I want to see what all you're doing. Aaron, you're in Los Angeles, so I'm sure we'll go to Alaska to experience a puppy. When we went to Alaska on Princess, they were not doing it yet. We were on the Sapphire Princess. What a beautiful ship.
2008.
Really nice. Yeah, 2008. It was one of my father's last vacations before we lost him. And it was such an amazing trip. I still remember to this day our dinner in Sabatini's, which just Rebecca and Dad's wife went off and had dinner, and they just let me and Dad have dinner. And it's just a classic Italian. We're Italian Americans, and it was just one of those classic Italian meals. Dad had his suit with the black pants and the white jacket and the black tie. I mean, he looked so mafia. It was hysterical. And then we went in there and we just had one hell of an amazing meal in there, stuffed ourselves to the gills. And I just love Princess. I think Princess is a really fun cruise line. I loved it, especially when they started leaning back into the love boat. For a while, they got away from that. They're like, no, we don't want to be associated with that anymore. And then they really started leaning into it. They brought the original cast back to do all the safety videos. They do a love boat party up on the upper deck. And of course, now we have a reality show out there, which we've not seen yet.
And they do also show episodes of the Love Boat on the TV in your cabin.
Yeah, if you're on a Princess ship, you can watch the original Love Boat in your cabin. It's so awesome. I'm so glad that they leaned back into it. It's so much fun to see that. Oh, man. And of course, we lost Gavin, but I know usually once a year, they will have a Love Boat reunion on one of the ships. So any of the remaining cast may be on one of those ships.
I forget which ship, but Jill Whelan is the godmother of one of their ships.
Is she really? I did not know that. Jill Whelan, who was Vicky, is the godmother of one of the ships. That's really, really cool. Huh.
I forget which ship, though.
That's kind of cool. Kind of like, Kathy Lee Gifford's daughter is going to be the godmother for Celebration, which is getting close. November. She's getting really, really close. And if you haven't seen some of the pictures popping up all over online, the icon of the seas, I mean, there's a picture from the aft, and she looks like the Starship Enterprise. You can just put the word Enterprise on the side of it and just launch it to where no cruise ship has never gone before. It's quite the interesting looking ship as she's finally taking shape. We can really see it. The bow has all come together now. So you can just look up, icon of the seas, and there are articles all over the place. Literally every single day we're seeing pictures come out of the shipyard on this thing. It is looking like one heck of a spectacular ship. Certainly unlike anything that Royal has built yet. Kind of has some shades of the MSC, like seashore, seaside, especially in the back, a little bit of that going on, but really, really different. She's looking like a rather spectacular ship. Absolutely. Oh, Aaron, holy cow. Thank you so much. We really appreciate that. Cheers to you, my friend. Really, really appreciate it. I'm glad we've been helpful. We just love doing, I've just been having a good time doing this. And I'm just so glad that you all are getting something out of it. I mean, and like I said, it's because of you guys, especially over on the TikTok channel. They really pushed me that we started this whole travel agency thing. And I'm just so glad. I'm just so glad that the information is useful. That's all we want. That's all we want to do, just help people. We want you all to go out there and enjoy yourselves and have a good time. and just know the truth about cruising. Because, like I've always said, it's not for everybody. Cruising is not for everybody, but you shouldn't knock it unless you get out there. And so many people listen to information from people who have never been on a ship. Oh, it's going to be so crowded. Oh, it's going to be this. Oh, it's going to be that. And then you get on there. I mean, my brother-in-law was like, this is nothing like I expected. This thing is huge. This is fun. So that's what we like to hear. We like to hear that people are having a good time, that you're having fun. So, here's something really cool. It's amazing how fast all of this has happened. The Prima has completed her first U.S.-based cruise. How about that? Round trip from New York City. She just went back out today on her second U.S. cruise. So after this one, she will start her journey to come on down. She's going to be bouncing around a little bit. She's going to be in Miami, going to be in Port Canaveral, and she will be in Galveston. So if you're in one of those port areas, certainly if you're in Galveston, you live over in the Texas area, think about taking advantage of the fact that the Prima is going to be over there. What I really like about this ship, they've really amplified the adult, that luxury experience, and then the fun. I mean, they've got that massive go-kart track up on the top, which, by the way, one really cool thing about the go-karts, they have a laser gun. And there's like a little laser sensor on the top of the car. And if you hit it, you give a boost to that person. That's kind of cool. So Rebecca will never hit it. So I'm going to have to get somebody to come with me who actually has aim and can aim the thing and hit it so I can get a boost.
Hit it randomly.
Yeah, you might, or you might shoot me in the eye, one or the other. Kid, you shot your eye out. So, but that's kind of cool. So the go-karts have something there. They have like this really big like bar and viewing area on there that I don't know if it's on the other ship of the go-kart. We have not been on a go-kart ship yet, but we know that they really amped up this one. It's the first one with the 3 decks. And they really wrapped it around the funnel this time to give themselves more room. So it looks super, super cool. Hey, Christy. Hello. Good to see you. We were just talking about Galveston, Texas, and going to see the Prima. So you really should go. Aaron, I mentioned we like cruising during Thanksgiving. You don't find it too crowded, overwhelming, and slightly chaotic. One time we did. We went on the Freedom of the Seas, the Royal Freedom of the Seas, which is a big family ship. They announced over the PA system on the either on the first day or second day, there are 1,000 children sailing on this cruise, and you could just hear all the adults going, So that one time, it was chaotic. It was still fun.
It wasn't so bad till the last night was the worst.
The last night turned into Lord of the Flies. I mean, it really did. Kids just like everywhere. But that's what happens. It's really interesting on a cruise ship that with the kids on the first day, everybody's like, kind of nervous. And then by the second day, they're starting to form groups. And then by the third day, man, they're just like everywhere. So like the last night was like Lord of the Flies on. But the other times we've gone, we've been on Princess, Celebrity,
Holland America,
and Holland America. Yeah, Holland America was our first one. So if you go on to more adult-centric ships, it'll be less chaotic. Like obviously, if you go on Virgin Voyages, there's not going to be any kids at all on that ship. So, but Freedom was still a fun. I mean, we had a blast on that cruise. It just got a little bit chaotic at the end. So no, we love it.
And if you pick a longer cruise too, there'll be less kids.
That's another good point. So if you don't do a 7-nighter, if you do one that goes into the following week, well, there won't be near as many kids on it because, or it won't be near as many families because they can't.
Picking the right ship is important, especially during the holidays.
Yeah. So you might want to talk to a travel advisor. Who would that be? A travel advisor can help you book your next cruise and pick the right ship so that you don't end up on the wrong ship for Thanksgiving. Hint, hint, hint. Okay, I just stopped there. But no, Thanksgiving is a fabulous time. Good, Andy. I'm glad I told you. I remember. So here's what happened, and here's how we even got started with this. All right, we had two Thanksgivings in a row that got screwed up. Okay, one year we were going. I don't remember where we were going the 2 years, but both years it got canceled at the last minute, either a family emergency or something happened where we were going, like 2 years in a row. And when the second one happened, I said to Rebecca, I'm like, screw it. Let's go on a cruise next year. Let's not even deal with Thanksgiving. Let's just go get on a ship. Let's go enjoy ourselves. And we went on the Holland America, New Amsterdam. And oh my God, it was so nice. I mean, I could watch the football games. She was just sitting by the pool, Somebody else was cooking.
We didn't do a whole lot, so we treated ourselves to a cabana on the
Yeah.
ship.
Yeah. Oh, Holland America, some of those ships have amazing cabanas up above the pool, and you can rent them for the whole week. And we had a little cabana boys come in. They're delivering fruit. They're delivering coffee. Oh,
Ice
and
water.
the coffee, water, and the coffee shop was literally all I had to do was get up, go through the door. The coffee shop was right there. So it was so freaking amazing. So yeah, so we were like, oh my God, we really like cruising during Thanksgiving. Now we've done it 5 times. We've not done the other holidays yet. We were supposed to do Christmas, New Year's on one ship from Galveston in 2020. Obviously, that cruise didn't happen, and that's why we're on the Symphony of the Seas now. You know, we replaced that with a cruise last Christmas, didn't go on that, and now we're doing Symphony. So I highly recommend Thanksgiving. Is so. The only thing I don't recommend is going to the main dining room for Thanksgiving dinner. Don't do that because it's kind of like Piccadilly cafeteria. And it's because, look, there's like 2,000, people or so that they're going to serve turkey dinner to. It's hard to make a turkey dinner for that many people that's moist and good. If you really want turkey that night, go to the buffet, because usually on Thanksgiving night, that's what they're carving at the meat station. So if you want really good turkey on Thanksgiving night, go up to the buffet and go to the carving station and have them actually cut you some nice fresh turkey. That's the way to do Thanksgiving if you really want to do it. We actually book a specialty meal that night. We don't even go to the dining rooms at all. We just go to a specialty restaurant that night, and that's our Thanksgiving. And then if I really want some turkey or something like that, I'll make me a little turkey dinner when I get home. In fact, I found at Trader Joe's, they have like a little roll up, it's like a turkey breast that's rolled up with some stuff in it. I'll just cook that for myself when I come home. That's all. Yeah, it is so cool. So Desiree, I'm glad you have cruised during the holidays. Christy is really liking that she can hear Rebecca now. Yes, we've got a new little microphone kit going. You notice I don't have that big microphone here anymore, so we've got that. You took your daughter. Oh, very nice. You went during Thanksgiving. That is so awesome. Thanksgiving is one of those holidays that has so much pressure on it because that meal has to be so perfect. And whether you're cooking it or not, there's going to be drama in the house. I've never been to a Thanksgiving where there's not drama around what's going on in the oven. Is it done? Is it not done? And we're going back and forth and all of this stuff.
1 year in the smoker. That was not a good year.
The smoker was a bad year. That was a very bad year. My father-in-law decided to smoke a turkey. And luckily, his wife cooked another turkey in the oven because the smoked turkey was done at about 10 o'clock at night. It didn't work.
Because it was really cold that day.
It was very, very cold and windy.
Having a hard time.
And it was windy, and it was a very small smoker. It wasn't very good. It wasn't like, a big green egg. If it was a big green egg, it would have been fine. So too funny. So 3 houses in a single day. Are you crazy, Christy? Oh my goodness. Get on a cruise. Just tell everybody, sorry, I'm going to be on a ship. Y'all want to see me? You come on out and get on the ship with me. That's what you tell everybody. Oh my God, 3 houses. I didn't even do 3 houses for Christmas, for crying out loud. Wow, that is a lot of traveling around. You would be much better off driving down to Galveston and hopping onto whatever cruise ship happened to be docked there that day. But and just so you know, Christy, such a lovely person. She's one of our moderators. Actually, she's the only moderator right now in the Where's Walter group. She does a great job making sure that we remember all the birthdays, all the celebrations, everything that's going on with the group. Andrew, you are absolutely correct. 3 ports are better. 3 ports are much better with a cocktail. With a cocktail.
And no driving.
And no driving. And I know some people may have tuned in late, so I'm going to show you this. This is so awesome. From our Facebook group, Tammy is on the Harmony of the Seas as we speak, and she is wearing the Where's Walter ship out at sea before I even got a chance to do it. Huh?
Shirt, you said ship.
Oh, ship. She's wearing my shirt on a ship. She's on the Harmony of the Seas. That is just so awesome. It's just so much fun. I love that you all are enjoying what we're doing here, and I love that the little merch thing is working out. I really love that. If you want us to, we can actually go ahead and book stuff for you now. I mean, this is what you guys asked for, and it's just so exciting. And of course, make sure you do come on over and join the Facebook group. Really want to see you all in the Facebook group because I want to see pictures like that and everything. And gelato, people are just making me feel awful because they're posting gelato that I can't get to. so definitely come on over and join the Facebook group. That would be.
If you manage to get on the dog sled ride, we want to see pictures because we didn't get to.
Yes, if you get on, Aaron, if you get on the dog sled, we want to see the pictures. We did not get to go to it. We did have, I mean, we had an absolutely lovely time doing the glacier. Now, one thing I do remember, really funny, it's one of those birds that like swoops down and attacks you if you walk by their tree.
Well, they were nesting.
Yeah, they were nesting. So it was there at that helicopter thing. And we walked apparently the right way. Somebody else was walking the wrong way. And they were just getting dive bombed while we were waiting for the helicopter to go off. Yes, Christy, I have my own ship now. See, right there. There it is, right there. That's my ship. That is the SS Wally. Yeah, it's funny how many people love that little thing. It's the stupidest little inflatable ship. It actually has a thing on the top so you can hang it from the ceiling for some reason. Seems kind of odd that you would hang a cruise ship from a ceiling, but okay, maybe that's what we're gonna do with it. All right, fine. What else can I tell you about Princess? Ooh, what else? Oh my goodness! So Rebecca found a couple of really cool itineraries. They have so Aaron, so listen up. We got 17-night Ultimate Princess Alaska Cruise Tour. 17 nights in Alaska. 2 nights in each of 5 lodges, plus the cruise. So Princess has their own lodges. That's one of the coolest things about Princess in Alaska. We stayed in Fairbanks in the Princess Lodge. We stayed in Denali National Park, right outside of Denali National Park in the Princess Lodge, which at the time, I don't know if it's changed, but literally it was about a quarter-mile strip of Holland America Hotel, Princess Lodge, and then like a coffee shop and a few things across the street. That was it. And then there was a red light that obviously would turn off once the season was over. But 17-night Ultimate Princess package, 2 nights in each of 5 lodges, plus the cruise. And then if you go to Mount McKinley Princess Wilderness Lodge, I don't know if there's any fans of that show, Treehouse Masters. You know, the guy that builds all these tree houses. He built a tree house for the Princess Mount McKinley Lodge.
And I think it's like an observation.
Yeah, it's an observation platform. So if you're a fan of that guy, you know, Treehouse Masters, you can actually go see his work at the Princess McKinley Mount McKinley Lodge up there. Very, very cool. I mean, when people ask us about Alaska, we do lean towards Princess because they have been doing it a long time and they do have their own lodges. The other really good one too, Holland America, has been going there over 75 years. And I know they're like the more classic cruise lines. And, Princess, just the way Princess worked, we flew to Fairbanks. They met us at baggage claim. They took our bags, put them on the bus. We had 2 sets of luggage. One set of luggage went with us on land. The other set of luggage we didn't even see until we got onto the ship. And then it was like a cruise ship all the way. We stayed in a lodge for 2 days, and we put our luggage outside, got on the bus, got on the train. Our luggage was there, and then 2 days later, put our luggage outside. So Princess just kept moving the luggage for us. It was wonderful. And then once we got on the ship, there was our ship luggage just waiting for us. So it was absolutely awesome the way they did it. So if you ever have a chance to do a cruise tour, oh my gosh, it's just the most amazing thing. And then our cruise, we picked up the ship in Whittier, Alaska, and we ended up in Vancouver. So it was like a one-way cruise. And Rebecca tacked on 3 days in Vancouver. And what a city. Oh, great walking city. Great walking city. We had a fabulous time. And and then when we started watching Psych on USA, I'm like, hey, that's Stanley Park. That's not San Diego or Santa Barbara. That's Stanley Park in Vancouver. They're shooting in Vancouver. So we actually recognized some of the location for Psych, one of our favorite shows of all time. Love Psych so much. So some other cruise news right now. This is really interesting. We have never done a river cruise. I don't know if you guys have ever done a river cruise, but we've been hearing all summer long about how Europe having a bad drought and maybe the boats are going to have trouble and this, that, and the other. Well, right here, the Mississippi River is having trouble. The Viking Mississippi is actually a brand new boat that Viking launched, I believe, this year, specifically for the Mississippi River, hence the name Viking Mississippi. But she had to cancel the cruise halfway through her current voyage due to regional drought, resulting in low water levels. She had just crossed into Arkansas on October 6th when the cruise had to be canceled. And the guests had to be bused to where the ship was supposed to end up. And then they've had to cancel the following cruise because they can't get the boat back to where it's supposed to start the next cruise, or they're not. They just can't get it there. So I had not heard. I mean, I've heard of the Mississippi River flooding, but I had not heard that the Mississippi River was running low. And I'm kind of curious: is this going to affect New Orleans at all? Because Carnival and the Norwegian Breakaway, they come up in. They have to take the Mississippi River to get up into New Orleans to do cruise port operations. So I'm kind of curious. I hope it doesn't, affect down there. But I honestly had not heard. I've never heard of the Mississippi River running in the drought conditions. I definitely have heard of flooding. In fact, we did a show at CNN when I was still working there on the Mississippi floods. So it's very interesting. I'm curious. Have any of you taken a river cruise yet? We really want to, but I've never really thought about cruising the U.S. I always think about the European rivers. I want to go over there and do that. Although I would not mind. Viking has a purpose-built ship up in the Great Lakes. That sounds really interesting to me. It's the Viking Octanus or something like that. Looks like a really cool boat, and I think it is a boat. I don't think it's a ship. I think it is a boat. A couple hundred people. That looks really spectacular. But of course, these are very expensive cruises because there's only a couple of hundred people on it. So compared to an ocean-going cruise, these can be like 2 or 3 times the price of an ocean-going cruise. So I don't know if I want to pay that much to go up and down the Mississippi, but certainly over in Europe I would, and I would pay that to go up and do the Great Lakes. I think that would be really, really cool. I'm kind of curious what you guys think. Would you do like a Viking river cruise up and down the Mississippi when the water is high enough to do it again? I don't know. I'd kind of be torn on that, whether I would actually want to go do that or not. Definitely, the ultimate for me is to go do one of those Christmas Wonderland, Christmas marketplace ones over in Europe, where you keep seeing the little Christmas marketplaces as you go down the way. The cool thing about the river cruises is that the boat is right in the middle of town, so you step off the boat and you're right there. It's not like cruising to Rome, which is really 45 minutes to an hour away from Rome. It's
Civitavecchia.
That. So you're not actually cruising to Rome. But when you cruise to St. Louis on these boats, you actually step off in St. Louis, and then you're right there. So it is actually really cool. Aaron, you can't recall if we've been to Chops 150, Wonderland, Jamie's Italian. So no to the first 2 because we've not been on an Oasis.
First 3.
Oh, Chops. Oh, yeah, no. We haven't been to the first 3. We've been to Jamie's.
On the Mariner.
Yeah, on the Mariner. But I can tell you, let's see, what ship did you say you were going on?
Oasis.
Oasis.
Right? No. He's on?
Which one are you on? Let's see.
He's on Ovation in Alaska, right?
You're on Ovation of the Seas. Okay. So what I would recommend is the Sean and Steph channel, because I know she loves these restaurants, and her and Sean have done some really awesome reviews.
About a month.
There you go. Go check out the Sean and Steph channel because they will be able to fill you in. And she just did Wonderland.
Yes.
Yeah, on Wonder or something. So I don't know if she's been on Ovation of the Seas, but I know she's been on a sister ship.
Odyssey that she went on.
Yeah, she may have been there on Odyssey. But I know she's been to 150, and they love Chops. I can tell you that Chops is one of their favorite restaurants when Sean was still alive.
She likes 150 too.
And she does like 150, and I know she had a good time. But when she told us to make sure you book Wonderland, on Symphony, so we've done that. Jamie's Italian, when we went, it wasn't the best. It was good. It wasn't the best. We went for lunch. So I would say, I don't know that I would pay dinner for Jamie's, but I would certainly pay lunch again. I mean, it was good for lunch, but I don't know if it's something I'd want to spend for dinner at Jamie's. 2
items that they serve for dinner that they don't serve for lunch. But they were both meat things, so I don't eat meat. So
and we don't know that this was before the pandemic.
It's the same.
Oh, it's still the same.
I've seen
okay.
the menu.
Okay. So, but yeah, so I can't answer the question about.
We do intend to try Chops and Wonderland.
Yeah, we're going. So you're going to actually get to try it before we do. Yeah, we're planning Wonderland and Chops. So
Hooked.
When we were on the ship the last time, Rebecca wasn't eating fish yet. So she was just strictly a vegetarian. So we never went to a steakhouse. And then recently, Rebecca added fish to her diet. So like when we went on the Norwegian Escape. What? Oh. Let me block that person. So sorry. So sorry about that. Usually they block that pretty quickly. Thank you, Rebecca. That's my producer over there watching out for me. Now I lost my train of thought. Oh yeah, so Norwegian Escape was the first time that we've been to a steakhouse on a cruise ship, and so now we do go because Rebecca will get the fish dinner or the shrimp or whatever. So, but yeah, so you're actually going to get to try it first. You really will. Oh, okay, Andy, you've been on the Mississippi River. That sounds great. I don't know if I would do it, but I bet it is a very pretty ride. Christy, it is a boat. It's a Viking. So there's Viking, there's American Cruise Line. There might be somebody else.
Pearl.
It might be called Pearl, but definitely there's American Cruise Line and Viking. Both have river boats on the Mississippi River. And Viking also has boats up in the Great Lakes. So yeah. And the pricing on Viking is very similar to the pricing, like over in Europe. They're not cheap cruises, but then they are, they're Viking is supposedly one of the best luxury lines out there. So the price supposedly lives up to, to the hype. But I haven't been on Viking yet. That's another one that we need to go get onto if we have not been there yet. But we really need to get out onto one of those soon. I hope. But oh, good. I'm glad that somebody in our group had been on the ship here in the water. So, okay, Aaron, I'm sorry. So you're on Harmony in a month and then Ovation next May. Okay, so you're going to be on Harmony first. And I know Sean and Steph have an entire vlog from Harmony of the Seas. So I know they went to Chops and they went to 150 on that episode. I don't know if Wonderland was there yet. Wonderland's a fairly new restaurant. But on the Wonder of the Seas, Stephanie went to Wonderland. So if you look at their Harmony vlog, you will see the other two restaurants. And
I think it was Odyssey.
Oh, Odyssey. On the Odyssey of the Seas, she went to the Wonderland. So yeah, so just the Sean and Steph channel, she'll be able to answer those questions for you about the restaurant. I don't want to just make up something because I haven't eaten there yet. I intend to, though. I definitely will be doing vlogs on them once I get on those ships for sure. And like I said, I'm going to try to sneak on some MSC cruises this month if I can. But I really want to go see what that's all about. It's an Italian cruise line. And it's funny, a lot of people don't look at MSC cruises because it looks like a high-end line. I mean, they got Swarovski crystals in the staircase, beautiful design inside. But when you start pricing out some of their cabins price out like Carnival for, like actually really cost-effective cabin, certainly in the same range as Royal Caribbean. And then they have the Yacht Club, which is that ship within a ship, kind of like the Haven.
And even some of those are more priced like mini or junior suites on other lines, the lower end of that. Yeah,
the Yacht Club on MSC is not priced nearly as high. It doesn't start nearly as high as the Haven on Norwegian. Now, the Haven on Norwegian, I mean, that sets the whole standard. And boy, if you've seen the Haven on Prima, holy moly, that is phenomenal looking, absolutely gorgeous. I'm hoping they'll at least give me a tour of it when I go on there so I can go see what the Haven looks like, because that infinity pool, the whole layout on top, it's really, it's what Virgin Voyages should have done on the back of the lady ship. Had they done that exact design on the back of the lady ship, that would have been absolutely amazing. But yeah, so the Yacht Club is a lower cost alternative to doing the Haven. And the ships look amazing. I mean, they're Italian ships, and the food is supposed to be incredible. And if you've seen the promenade on like the Divina, it looks like, Fremont Street in Las Vegas with the LED screen that goes all the way down the ceiling. I'm really surprised Royal Caribbean never did anything like that. But absolutely spectacular what they're doing with those ships. I really want to try MSC. That'll be the 9th cruise line for me if I get a chance to go over there. So yeah. In fact, speaking of MSC, this is kind of interesting. The brand new Seashore. So I can't keep up with them. Seaside, Seashore, Seascape, maybe. They're all named C, so it's kind of hard to keep up with them. But they're going to home port in Port Canaveral in 2023-2024 winter season. It's going to be the first time 5 MSC ships will be operating in the United States at the same time. MSC is on a building binge. They are building a lot of ships right now, and they're going to be right up there with Royal Caribbean and Carnival sooner than later with the rate that they're building ships. So keep an eye on MSC. Holy moly. And it's a good price. It's a really good price. and they look like stunning ships. I mean, now they are an Italian cruise line, and I've heard some people that kind of don't like some of the things that they do.
The biggest problem a lot of people have is they do all their announcements in, I think, 5 different languages.
Oh, wow.
So every time you hear an announcement, it's 5 times over in 5 different languages.
Well, I mean, it is more of an international crowd. So, Aaron, you love my review of Rudy Sea Grill and shocked at how good it was. Looking forward to trying it one day. You know, it was, and I guess it's just because, you know, you kind of have this bias against Carnival. Oh, they're just not going to have great restaurants. That restaurant was unreal, absolutely unreal. And our brother-in-law, sister-in-law said that Fahrenheit 555 was outstanding as well as a steakhouse. But to have a meal that good on that ship, I mean, that is kind of like a party ship. It's a fun ship. But man, Rudy, and it was just a whole different atmosphere in there too, from the service to the way the restaurant was set up. Everything about that meal was so different than anything else that we did on the ship. It was just phenomenal. And the price at the time we did it was only like $38. I think now it's like 44, maybe something like that. It's a ridiculous steal. I mean, that meal, I hope Carnival's not listening, but you know, that meal would be like, you know, 9,900 plus on other ships. Because you saw what I had. You saw that bowl when they brought out all the crab and everything like that. I mean, it was unreal. And then we had crab stuffed lobster. So I had a bowl with crab, and then I had crab stuffed lobster. Plus I had whatever the appetizer was, and it was like $38 when we were on it. Unbelievable how cheap it was. It was absolutely crazy. So Andy, that is a rumor right now. That's not even like remotely close to happening. I don't think that we'll get there.
I don't think it's feasible.
Yeah, it's definitely not feasible. That's just a rumor because of the whole Carnival situation and them announcing the $500 fines and all that. I don't know where the rumor started. It certainly didn't come from Carnival. Some fan probably mentioned it on Cruise Critic, and then it just went out from there. But I don't think that would ever happen. I mean, it's just kind of crazy. It would be almost cost prohibitive because they're not free. You know, so the passengers aren't going to pay for it. The guest isn't going to pay to have, you know, a cruise, a background check done on them. So somebody's got to pay for it. And you've got 6,000 people on the Mardi Gras. You've got 7,000 people on the Oasis class. Who's got the time to do all of that, first of all, and who's going to pay for that? Now, they could always potentially do something like Clear or, you know, TSA check kind of a thing where you do a pre-check earlier. I don't think it's ever going to get there. I think those are isolated incidents. And the thing about it is, those are such isolated incidents. I mean, incredibly isolated incident. But we see them because everybody's got a phone. So that's why you see it on social media. And they know that if they put the video up there, they're going to get 10,000 clicks. So you don't see the 99.9% of all the good stuff because that's boring. Nobody shows that. But when somebody starts yelling in a hot tub, instantly 50 phones are going to pop up and start filming it and hope that they're going to get something good to get a bunch of clicks. So it is such a minuscule part of cruising. We've been cruising since 2006. We haven't even seen anything remotely that even remotely resembles a fight. I've asked a bunch of vloggers. I've asked some other friends. They've never seen anything that remotely resembles a fight. So I think that whole thing is kind of blown out of proportion.
I've seen loud drunks, but nobody fighting.
Yeah. And it's been blown out of proportion just because of the social media aspect of it, but I applaud Carnival for what they did. Now, will they enforce it? Because there's a $500 fee if you're caught smoking on the balcony, and apparently that's never enforced. Now, will they enforce these new rules? I hope they do. I applaud them for doing it, and I also applaud them for kicking these people off the ship because they don't belong on the ship. If you can't respect others on the ship, you should just be let off at the next port of call and figure out your own way home. That's just the way it should be.
And the cruise lines should share this information with each other.
That would be, yeah, almost like the airlines. You know, they should share the information, and especially so you know, Carnival Cruise Line owns a bunch of cruise lines. You know, Princess, Holland America, AIDA,
Costa,
Cunard, Costa. So if you're banned from Carnival, I mean, I think you should just be banned from Carnival. You can't get on Princess. You can't get on Holland America. You can't get on any of our ships. And that, I think, if they started doing that, I think that might finally start making people think twice. Because if you get banned from Royal Caribbean and Carnival, you just got banned from about 15 cruise lines.
But it's like, even if Carnival shares with Norwegian and Royal.
Yeah.
And then these people can't go anywhere.
That would be interesting. You're looking at sailing MSCM. How do you pronounce his name? Looking to take my best friend and his family of 4 on their first cruise in the spring of 2024. Yay! Meraviglia, as far as I know. Meraviglia, I believe. The G is silent. Meraviglia is what is how I think. You're going to looking to take your best friend and his family of 4 on their first cruise. That is so exciting. That is so exciting. I hope it goes well. I think that's a great ship. MSC is definitely, that's going to be a very interesting, a unique experience, because, most people will go on a Royal Caribbean, a Carnival, things like that, Princess, like we did. I think taking them on MSC is going to be very interesting. It's going to be a more international crowd, I think. So that should be really, really cool.
Kids clubs have a partnership with Lego, right? On those ships?
I think she's right. MSC has a partnership with Lego for their kids. I don't know how young the family is, but I believe they do have Lego in the kids club, which would make me want to go there. Actually, I want to go to the Disney Kids Club. Oh, by the way, if you ever go on a Disney ship, this is the coolest thing. You can only do this on embarkation. As soon as you get on the ship, go directly to the kids clubs. It's the only time adults are allowed to go in there. And you can do all the selfies you want. I got a nice shot of me sitting on RC. I got a picture with Slinky Dog. I got a picture with Mike Wazowski. But once the ship starts sailing, you can't be in there, obviously, because it's all about the kids. But if you ever want to get some really cool pictures on a Disney ship, just go directly to the kids club as soon as you get on the ship and take all these selfies. It is so awesome. I wish we had a room like that, for crying out loud. So, so the kids will be 9 and 3. Yeah, so they'll be in the kids club. It looks like a really good kids club. It really does. They've got a funny little logo. It's like it's a sun with a smile and legs that come walking around. But it looks like a really cool club that they got going on over there. And like Rebecca said, they have some sort of a partnership going with Lego in there. So that should be a lot of fun. Aaron, any recommendation for a restaurant in Fort Lauderdale, staying there one night after our Harmony cruise? I was looking, so there was a restaurant. We actually have friends in Fort Lauderdale that we met on the Panama Canal cruise. We went on the Princess or Panama Canal cruise. We met a couple. First day, it was like my brother from another mother, and they live in Fort Lauderdale. We're still friends with them to this day. And they took us to a really great spot, literally in a marina that I looked up for somebody else, and it's gone, unfortunately. What I can tell you, and I don't know of any other restaurant because that's the one that we went to, but there's a water taxi in Fort Lauderdale that is fabulous, that will take you up and down. And there's one particular street, and I'm blanking on it right now. I'll post it in the Facebook group. I know you're in the Facebook.
Olas?
Huh?
Las Olas?
Oh yeah, Las Olas. Las Olas. It's like a shopping district, restaurant district, all of that. It's supposed to be a lot of really good restaurants in there. So I would use Yelp and look in that Las Olas area to see what they recommend, and just hop the water taxi and go on over there. That water taxi is fabulous. It really is super easy. It's kind of like a hop on, hop off. You pay one price for the day. I think you can pay like just to take a ride, or you pay for the full day. And there's also some fun, I think, Millionaire Row type of boat tours in there too. I know we took some sort of a boat tour. I can't remember if it was an amphibious boat tour or a different boat tour, but we did a boat tour there as well. That was a lot of fun. So yeah, so the water taxi definitely to Las Olas. That's a cool way to get over there too, because instead of just driving around, you're just out there on the waterway. Really, really cool. That was a lot of fun. But that marina-based restaurant was fabulous. It was just a local joint. It was super cool. But unfortunately, they are gone now, because I did look them up for somebody else. So this is something interesting. Rebecca said, oh yeah, this happens all the time. I don't recall seeing something like this happen. So the Vibe Beach Club, which is the adults only beach club, it's kind of like, there's the Retreat on Celebrity. There's it's a paid adult area, and it's got pool, beach club, and all this. Norwegian has chartered that space for the entire week. Now, I've seen it where rooms are closed for a private event. Theaters closed, this venue is closed, that venue is closed, and it might be closed on multiple days at a certain time.
It's just another venue.
Yeah. And I've never seen, and especially since it's a money made, they must have really paid a top premium dollar to lock down this place for the entire week. So that would be interesting. Mark, I hope that's a joke. Cheesecake Factory. Come on. Is that a joke, Mark? Did you really go to Cheesecake Factory? I wouldn't recommend it. It's not one of my, I'm a food snob, so I would not. You know, maybe for the cheesecake, sure, you can go have a slice of cheesecake, but I don't know that I would go there for dinner. But yeah, this is interesting. So guests who have booked because you can pre-book the Vibe Beach Club in advance. They've been told that, look, your reservations are no good. This is going to be October 30th.
Well,
the
they'll
October
get their
30th.
money back.
Huh?
They'll get their money back.
Oh yeah. They're going to get a refund back, but it's just kind of interesting to take an adults only area. You know, so now they're going to be like with all the rest of the kids. And the Bliss must be just coming back from Alaska. She's doing an Alaska sailing right now. I saw on Twitter somebody was leaving on an Alaska sailing right now, so I don't know where she's going to be. It was the. I love Mark. Mark is getting so close. You are getting so close to your really awesome cruise. I am really excited about this cruise that you're going to be going on. Mark is going to be on the Wonder of the Seas. He will first be doing a lovely Mediterranean cruise, and then he's going to ride that ship all the way across the Atlantic and come back to Florida. What a ship to do that on. There's so much to do on the Wonder of the Seas that, I mean, Mark, you're going to be one of those few people that actually has the opportunity to do everything on that ship because you're going to be on it for so long. That is going to be absolutely spectacular. And I know you're going to be tacking on a few days in Barcelona. 8 days. Awesome. We'll be watching that countdown. I hope you guys are going to be, I hope you have your shirt, you know, like Tammy, so that, you know, you can post pictures from everywhere, you know, just like Tammy's doing here on the Harmony of the Seas. Thank you, Tammy, for doing that from our Facebook group. She's looking awesome on the ship. I love that so much. Love that so much that our stuff is out there and that y'all are enjoying it. And by the way, I don't know if I've even posted it, but the merch store is, it's just, you go to Where's Walter. Oh, actually, that's the wrong address. Oh, I got to fix that. So it's actually whereswaltertravel.com. That's the old address, whereswalter.tv, which actually does work. It does work as well. It'll take you to the same site. But yeah, so we've got all kinds of fun shirts and design. And actually, you can get some mugs. I'm going to order a couple of mugs as well. But you can order mugs, stickers, all kinds of fun stuff with these designs. And they're not just mine. You're supporting other artists too throughout the entire site, which is really cool. So I can be an affiliate for some of these other artists. So it's really, really cool. So definitely visit the merch store because you are helping a lot of independent artists out there. I think I only have like 5 or 6 designs, and then all the rest is other people, including Gary Benbridge. Cruise calories don't count. That's his shirt. I love that shirt so much. I had to put it in my store right away when I saw it. It was so amazingly awesome. Wow. Have we been talking for an hour already? Holy moly. We've been talking for an hour already. Anybody have any wrap-up questions here? Usually we do this for an hour. Now, last week we did go 2 hours because we had so many people on this thing. And we had so many questions. I didn't even realize how long we had gone. But if you've got any more questions, go ahead and pop them up now. Certainly. And then Saturday, we will be live on TikTok again at 10:30 in the morning. And then next Monday, we'll be back here at 7 p.m. We're kind of considering, or we are considering possibly pushing this back a little bit later. I noticed that some of the other vloggers, the cruise vloggers, they start as late as 9 p.m. just because of the West Coast. But I don't know if we'll go back that far. But we have considered possibly starting the show just a little bit later than 7 o'clock to try to let people from the West Coast join in as well. But we'll see. We'll see where that's going to go. But okay. So everybody's quiet at the moment. That's good. That sounds like a good time to go ahead and wrap this up, everybody. Really have enjoyed talking with you. Obviously, we're open for business now if we can do anything to help you. But certainly, if you're taking a cruise, use a travel advisor, whether it's us or somebody else. Use a travel advisor to help you. We're absolutely free. They don't cost you anything. So use them to help make you a better cruise. Now what? What happened? Did I miss something? I heard Rebecca laugh. Another. I love it, Andrew. That is absolutely awesome. You're making me jealous that you're going out on a ship before I am. That is so awesome. And I'm so excited to hear that you're actually going to take some folks out on their very first cruise. I do love that. Thank you, Andy. Thank you. I mean, seriously, thank you. I had no idea when I started doing the lives in January that it would turn into this. And when I started doing the TikTok in January, it turned into this. I've had this YouTube channel like 4 years, and I just kind of let it sit there for a while. Didn't really do a whole lot with it. So I'm just so thankful for all of you for tuning in, for coming along for the ride, for supporting us. And if there's anything we can do to help you with your travels in the future, certainly let us know. But always use a travel advisor. Doesn't matter if it's us or not. Use a travel advisor because they're definitely there to help you out. So thank you so much, everybody, for joining us tonight. I hope you guys have a great night. Join us Saturday morning over on TikTok, and then Monday night right back here. Have a great night, everybody. Be good.